Welcome back in day two, combined affiliated states here at Seabrook Reserve in Melbourne's northern suburbs. Kicking off today's action, we have Western Australia taking on South Australia in the women's division. Plenty of cloud coverage here at Seabrook Reserve. The rain holding off for the time being. WA looking to keep their momentum going. They picked up a strong win in their opening game yesterday, 26 points to 6 winners over the Northern Territory. While for South Australia, looking to bounce back after they were outclassed 50 points to 0 by the hosts Victoria. And play underway. South Australia with first use of the football. Struggled with their ball control in yesterday's match and flirting with the sideline there in an early error. Kapani just not aware of her surroundings and how dangerously close she was to that sideline and just put a foot out in an early opportunity for WA. Nightmare start for South Australia. See what WA have with ball in hand. Swannell works it up directly in front of the post. Simpkins waits. Edwards finds her front looking for a quick play the ball. Handled there by Lucas. Simpkins drops it under. Young almost pokes her nose through, looking to put the ball down. She tries to hurl it out the back. It's going to be claimed to be a knock-on. So South Australia, they hold on. There's plenty of white jerseys in and around the Western Australian player as she tried to pop the ball around the corner. No way through there for Brianna Young. Looked like it was going to open up for her momentarily. South Australia to work it out of their own end. That early error off the kickoff, look to complete their sets here. March their way downfield, but tough meters on offer at the moment with a wall of black and yellow jerseys awaiting. Western Australia, they scored 5 tries in their opening game, looking to sharpen their attack in this morning's match. Theon Tarima picking up a double while Ruru Hanaki, Quain and Simpkins all grabbed 4-pointers of their own. As I mentioned, South Australia still chasing their first points of the tournament. Struggling for metres in this set, only going a handful of metres before fifth and last is called, so look for a big driving kick. Good kick pressure, the charge down, it falls kindly for Taurima. Just like that, Western Australia merely 10 metres out from their line. Edwards just goes straight through the middle. Desperation tackle from Matara to bring it to ground. Simpkins, short pass. They'll go out to this right-hand side. They've got numbers if they can find them. They put it through the hands and strolling over in the corner. Easy as you like. Traherne will go over and Western Australia, they have their first points of the morning. We'll put that down to the kick pressure from Western Australia as South Australia tried to put in a driving kick downfield. It was charged down. It fell kindly for Taurima, and after using a handful of plays, they sent it to that right-hand side and strolling over. Samantha Traherne goes over almost untouched. It's been a tough old start for South Australia to start this match, just camped down in their own end. Haven't been able to really get outside of their own 10-metre line, pinned down in that corner, and eventually the pressure proving too much. Simple footy but effective from those out west. Conversion attempt won't have the legs. It was on line, just always tough from that far sideline. A lot calmer conditions here at Seabrook today. We had a strong breeze blowing across the field yesterday. Certainly played a factor when the side had the wind at their backs in each half. Nikki Kelly now to get us back underway. She was one of South Australia's best yesterday. Put in a brave performance, popping up on all sides of the field. Long driving kickoff in Western Australia. The reset and bring it back the other way. And strong bumpers. Strong carry. Left McNabb on the dirt. Now Warren picks up 10 or so metres. Simpkins draws in the marker. Lovely dummy half work there as Bush will work it forward. Gets them into South Australian territory. Now Simpkins, she'll just go herself. Weave her way through traffic. Foster with the dummy half duties. Young, threatening once more. Gets away from two before hurled to the ground by Matara. Fifth and last. What have they got in their last tackle option? Out to this right-hand side they go. Deft little grubber across the field and over for a double. In quick succession, Samantha Traherne, she's having a good morning so far. It was a lovely weighted grubber. Great vision there from Thompson. Put the ball through and threaded the needle. And Western Australia, just like that, they grabbed their second. Clinical. Nice play from Kaylee Thompson. Had the option of putting it through the hands, just looked up. Saw she had the numbers on the outside and a perfectly well-weighted grubber straight into the breadbasket of Samantha Traherne. Thompson from an almost identical spot, this time denied by the woodwork. So neither try converted, keeping the door ajar for South Australia. Western Australia lead 8-0. What has been nearly a flawless start from them to start this first half. The women's competition once again taking place in the combined affiliated states in 2025. Having spent the past few seasons being part of the Harvey Norman Women's National Championships. These two teams, they didn't face off in that competition, different sides of the pools. They go toe-to-toe here today, and so far, it's the Western Australians that have had the running. Working out of their own end. Really impressive ball control so far. Once again, they're targeting that middle third of the South Australian defence, getting in and behind the markers, picking up metres for ease. Claire, she'll take it deep into the line before handing it off to Young, who's been busy. Wearing the number 15, but lining up in that edge back row position. Edwards, nice little short pass close to the line. Swannell floating through the middle. Now to this left-hand side they go. Claire shows it. Goes the dummy, goes all on her own. And Claire will dive over. It was a nice line run on the outside. It drew in the attention of the South Australian defence. Mahina Rangi Claire was just allowed a day and age of space, and she took full advantage. Took it all the way to the house and gets another 4-pointer. Playing a local football for the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs. Alongside several teammates, joins the likes of Ariana Ruhunaki, halves partner, Kaylee Thompson. No doubt that key elements of their spine playing together. Macy Simpkins involved, so the entire spine, I should say. That connection, no doubt, will put them in good stead for the remainder of this competition, often when a lot of players have to come together. Potentially not with the greatest notice. Having played already a number of games at club level. That connection on show already, because they have been a well-oiled machine inside the opening 10 minutes. As Thompson strikes it nicely and over the black dot it goes. This time from the other side she finds more joy off the kicking tee. Kelly gets us away once more. Taken on the chest in a carbon copy. They'll bring it back. They'll start their set 30 metres out from their own line. Looking for a quick play. The ball there was Edwards. Wasn't getting one. Strong carry. Left Lucas behind, and now Simpkins spots the markers not square. Quickly hands it off the way of Warren. She looks to stand in the tackle, still wrestling there. Second effort there from Mayrick, lucky not to give away the penalty. Now Simpkins from dummy half. She's allowed to canter forward. Harmon there to hurl it to ground along with several other South Australian defenders. Out to this right-hand side they go. Ruhanaki puts it through the hands. Quain. Brought down just shy. Last tackle coming up. Thompson goes for the cross-field kick. It's deep, but chasing through it. It falls kindly straight into the lap of Brianna Young, who couldn't believe her luck. Right place, right time, and she grabs a 4-pointer of her own. It was a perfectly weighted kick in the end from Kaylee Thompson. Gave her outside chase a perfect opportunity to make a contest of it. South Australia, they went up for the football, and it just spilled straight into Brianna Young, who wasn't almost expecting it. Did well to secure the football and plants it down. This is a warning shot to the rest of the competition from Western Australia. They have been relentless to start this first half. South Australia, they might not necessarily have some of the strike power of the likes of Victoria and Western Australia, but it's the way in which they've gone about their business here, WA. Yet to make an error. It's been a polished kicking game from Kaylee Thompson. The outside runners are challenging both edges. Simpkins, she's been running the football when the opportunity presents itself. Just sending a little message for Victoria and the rest watching on. WA here to play in 2025. Thompson with plenty of kicking practice starts it out to the right-hand side and was struck well but stayed out where she started it. And 18 points to nil, the score remains. 4 tries for WA already. Taken on the chest there by Claire. Great. Apologies, Assam into the fray. What a run. Gets them into South Australian territory. South Australians have done an awful amount of defending already in this first half. They've barely had the Steeden in their possession. Clare drops it under. Young, the try scorer, looking for another. They keep running that same play, finding the same result. Young causing all sorts of issues. Our first receiver is Warren. They straighten the attack. Ruby Hodgson in at dummy half. She comes into it for W8. Short pass, and there's the first error from Western Australia as Thompson tried to link up there. It was a pressure pass, and it's put down and relief for South Australia. Betsky, she'll bring it out of their own end. Trying to take a scoot from dummy half, but quickly seized upon by WA. Going to be an error. Coming out of trouble. So more pressure on the South Australians coming up right here. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Now play off the scrum, wrapping around. Looking to find some space, looking for a hat-trick. Has 2 tries to her name already, does Traherne. Back towards the post they go. Thompson orchestrating traffic, brought down just shy. Set up to this left-hand side. They've got numbers if they can put it through the hands. They go for the crash play. Plenty of white jerseys in the wall, denying them on that occasion. Price calling for it on this far side. Instead, they go straight through the front door. Great first contact, crucial, but a late offload. Numbers here for WA, wrapping around, putting it through the hands, and they'll put it down. Try goes begging. Tarima, she had 2 tries against Northern Territory, but she couldn't handle the football. The open line in front of her, if she could have secured possession of the Steeden. Instead, we'll go back into the hands of South Australia, who just desperately need to get through a set here. Wow, heart and mouth stuff there as a little juggle. She did well to hold on to the football. Just can't keep defending it the way they are. Fatigue will just cruel them for the remainder of this contest. McNabb takes a run, the fullback trying to help her. Tired middle forwards out who have done an awful amount of work. They've been brave so far. Ashley Lucas, ball spills out the back. Scooped up by Matera. Lucas slow to get back to her feet. McNabb once more. Harmon. Matera. And they finally get to their kick. Taken on the chest there. Traherne, who just puts on the afterburners, looking for a hat-trick. This will be some way to secure it. She just goes all on her own in the same spot she scored her previous 2. Samantha Traherne, she gets a first half hat-trick. A kick return and some. Just caught South Australia napping on that far side. Sliced straight through. Well, she might not have had a whole lot of work to do for her first 2 4-pointers. She did that one all on her own. Brilliant individual effort from the Western Australian winger. as the conversion attempt falls short. Just over 5 minutes remain in this first half. Just the one handling error from WA so far. 3 tries to Samantha Traherne. Brianna Young, she grabbed a try of her own also. Hainarangi Claire also registering 4 points to her name. Another chest here by Arsem. Bit of footwork and just puts the bumpers on. Gets them up to their own 40-metre line. Now Hodgson takes a scoot. Plenty of pace off the mark. Hands it off. She'll wait at dummy half once more. Thompson drifting on that far right side. Pins it under the wing and decides to take the tackle on that occasion. Physical from Bush. Just ran straight at Emily Myrick and put her onto the turf. Trying to just ensuring that Myrick's okay. Bravely got back to her feet into the defensive line. These middle forwards of Western Australia causing all sorts of havoc. While it might be the wingers and they're finding the joy out on the edges, put that down to the work of those through the middle, laying the platform for the outside backs, the likes of Thompson, Claire, of course the hat-trick hero Traherne to weave their magic. Slight delay in play as Mayrick head to the sideline. Push to play. Young pokes her nose through, but it'll be an obstruction. Ran in behind her own player. It opened up for her almost too easily, however. As a result, a penalty going the way of South Australia, who instead of kicking for touch are going to just tap and go, not risk not finding touch. Always a coach killer. It's an early shift deep inside their own territory. Chancing their hand to try something to unlock this Western Australian defence. Long pass back towards the middle. Now a shift, McNabb. Nothing doing, pops a little offload out the back. Nicely done from the fullback. McClure hands it on. Coming onto it was Simons. This is better from South Australia. Just asking a few questions. Little 360 spin before handing it to McNabb. It was almost a hospital pass in the end because she was quickly swarmed upon by Taurima. Western Australia, they'll pack the scrum. 90 seconds left in this first half. Out to this right-hand side. Ruhanaki thought about the pass. She had numbers on her outside, but this time she'll link up with a half-back. Going in for number 4. Traherne goes over, but she'll be bundled into touch. What a try-saving effort from South Australia. She looked a certainty to score in that far corner. Call it the Traherne triangle in that far right-hand corner. She's had so much joy, and it was only for a desperation tackle from South Australia. No doubt will lift the spirits. It's been a tough old first half for them. looking to see out the remainder of this first half. And the ball's put down. Had a little look at the line. Should dive on it, which means they'll kill a few seconds off the clock as they pack the scrum. Ten seconds remain. One last roll of the dice, perhaps. Taurima, she leaves it behind her. And it'll be called a knock-on, which will be the final act of the first half. An unfitting way to end the first half in the way in which this WA team has performed, flexing their muscles so far inside the opening 25 minutes, leading 22 points to nil. A first half hat-trick to Samantha Traherne. Here's the true highlight. Still plenty of more rugby league coming up. We'll take a short break and be back with all the second half action. Welcome back into the opening game of Day 2 of the Combined Affiliated States here at Seabrook Reserve, Western Australia in a commanding position, leading 22 points to nil over South Australia. They were just about flawless in that opening 25 minutes. They'll look to keep the good times rolling here. South Australia up against the wall as McNabb left worse for wear after that initial tackle, receiving treatment in back play. As a result, time called off. So an extended break for both teams, having just come out of the halftime break. Now makes her way, holding her nose. I think copped a stray limb there as she looked to try and make the tackle. She's been brave for South Australia, the fullback. She's been chipping in, taking plenty of hard carries when they've been deep in their own territory. Just due to the sheer amount of work that the middle forwards have had to do, as we see exactly why. Simpkins jumps out from dummy half, keeps it going. Western Australia just bruising South Australian defenders. And they draw a penalty. Been so physical. Not the first time we've seen South Australian left sprawled on the turf. As Henry makes it back-to-back carries. Guess I'm just shy, 20 metres out from the South Australian line. Thompson takes it all the way in the line and just goes straight through. Well, she laid on 2 try assists off the boot, but this time, Kaylee Thompson, she does it all herself and she gets a 4-pointer of her own. She was clinical in that first half, and she's gone one step better in the second. Took it all the way in the line, had options on her right. No one really committed to the ball carrier, and as a result, it just opened up for her. She puts it down under the post to make it a dream start to this second half for Western Australia. We saw in that first 25, she led on 2 tries off the boot. Lovely little grubber across for Samantha Traherne's second. And then it was a well-weighted cross-field kick that fell into the lap of Brianna Young. Hasn't had the best afternoon, or day I should say, off the conversion tee. Not exactly the easiest attempts. She'll much prefer this one. A lot more straightforward right in front. And just pokes it over to add the extra 2 points. Second conversion of the day. 6 tries scored already by WA. Samantha Traherne, she grabbed a first half hat-trick. Kelly resumes play. Chanel Edwards works it forward. Swannell fighting and getting them up to halfway. Slow play the ball. Simpkins in weight. Pokes her nose through the middle. She's had to pick and choose her times to run. She's done so effectively. We call a knock on there from Gray. She's claiming she held onto the football. Looked like the ball threatened to come out, but I thought she'd done enough to hold on to it. Call not going away on that occasion. Take the chance to run through the team lists. If you're just joining us at fullback for Western Australia, Ruru Hanaki on the wings. Rutene and Price. Taurima and Quain, the centre pairings. In the halves, Mahina Rangi Clare and Kaylee Thompson. Front row, we'll have Foster and Warren. Macy Simpkins at the number 9 position. The edge back rowers, Horner and Bush, while Swannell rounds it out in jersey number 13. On the bench, Ruby Hodgson, Brianna Young, who has a try, and Samantha Traherne, I should say, on the wing, despite wearing number 16. Elia Gray, Frida Assam and Ainsley Henry ran out the rest of the bench alongside Chanel Edwards, coached by John Ho. Look the real deal in 2025, Western Australia. Highly anticipated clash against Victoria coming up tomorrow, as they look on track to record a victory here in day 2 after picking up a 26 points to 6 win over Northern Territory in day 1. As the kick put in there by Yates, finds the turf, chasing through. It's a good chase and a great tackle. How's that? All effort from Sabertsky. Put on the afterburners. It was a good kick, and she chased hard. A kick is only as good as its chase. And how about the contact to bundle into touch and win the ball back for her team? South Australia, they would love some points. As the ball put down, disappointing. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, unfortunately. Done so well to win the football back, but just an unforced error there. Put that down to fatigue. They'll hand it straight back to Western Australia. For South Australia, at fullback, McNabb, who we saw earlier, had to go off to receive treatment. Wearing number 2 is Cooper. Zabertsky, Kapani, Kelly wearing number 17. There's a shift out here. And it comes out to Traherne. We saw her race away for a third. She leaves 2 defenders in her wake. Still going, Traherne. Weaving through traffic like they're traffic cones. And she's still going. Who's going to close her down? Traherne, just shy of the try line. Looked a certainty to score. She's brought down millimetres shy. They go for the crash play close to the uprights and quickly swarmed by the South Australian defence. South Australia will be having nightmares about Samantha Traherne tonight. Out to this left-hand side, got them shot to bits and waltzing over, going over untouched. Western Australia, they add to their tally. Went coast to coast on the back of Traherne's line break. South Australia did well to deny her, but they couldn't hold them out. Took 2 plays and a simple shift out to that left-hand side. Believe it might have been Swannell. So for the remainder of the South Australian team, at number 9, Tia Matara, and number 10, Ashley Lucas, number 15, Emily Mayrick, Adele Cooper wears number 11, number 13, Sophie McClure, Jessica Gateke in number 3, Abby Cook in 4, Georgina Thomas in 5, Emily Simons in 21, Makaya Forbes, 24, Talia North, 25, and Beck Willis wearing number 12. Thompson steps in and it'll be waved away. Only converted 2 of the 7. She strikes the ball rather nicely, just hasn't had the direction to go with it. Kelly off the right boot. Bringing it back, Chanel Edwards. Now Young. Gee, she's been strong. Wearing number 15. Rewarded with the first half try. Got a nice roll on here, WA. Henry. Simpkins draws in the marker. Releases Gray. Henry. Now running a straightening is Horner. Tried to hurdle over the attempted tackle of Matara. Fifth play coming up for Western Australia. They go down the short side, put it through the hands, it bobbles out, falls kindly, and it'll be a knock-on as they try to shift it down the right-hand side. Gate key. That's a good start to their set. Strong carry. Nicely done there by Kapani. Picked up a few post-contact meters, trying to get a bit of a roll on here, South Australia. WA, they muscle up in response. Simons, quick play the ball. Into this right-hand side they go, trying to create some shape. And have to rely on some ad-lib football. As McClure was quickly swarmed upon. Fifth and last now. Two wingers dropping back for WA in anticipation of the kick. It'll be brought back eventually by Price. Now from dummy half. Lieutenant still going. Breaking tackles, providing some spark off the bench. We're in the number 2. Now short pass close to the line and just back on the inside. That's lovely football from Western Australia. Kaylee Thompson gets a second. Picture perfect. Straight off the training paddock. A lovely interchange of passing. South Australia had no answers when the Western Australian attack is firing like it is this morning. Lovely outside-inside pass. Drew in the fullback and supporting through the middle, Kaylee Thompson. Thompson converts her own try. "14 points to her name for the halfback Kaylee Thompson. WA attack. I spoke about the connection of the spine, all playing for the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs. And then a majority of the forward pack, they all line up for the Fremantle Roosters, and you can see that in their performance today. The chemistry, all on the same page. Sometimes you see teams when they come to these sort of competitions, they try and orchestrate the plays as they just go straight through the middle. Charging away, the support on the inside. Hodgson will try and burn her for pace. She slips out of the tackle. 2 tries in quick succession. Blink and you miss it stuff from WA. Ruby Hodgson off the bench wearing jersey number 14. Sam did all the work in the build-up. Didn't have the pace to go the full distance, so she handed off to Ruby Hodgson, who managed to evade the desperation tackle at the death from South Australia. $42-0, Western Australia lead over SA. Thompson, she prefers these more straightforward conversion attempts. Looks like she'll get a spell as well. Rest up ahead of the big game tomorrow against Victoria. What a shift from the halfback. 2 tries, 4 conversions. Some day for Kaylee Thompson. So the final 10 minutes of this opening game of day 2. Western Australia emphatically adding to their points differential. Having won their first game 26 points to 6. 44-0 with still 10 minutes left, which seems like an age for this South Australian outfit. They must be out on their feet. Little bobble there in the play the ball. Linking up with Quain. Hasn't had a whole lot to do on this right-hand side. It's mostly been Traherne that's had the spoils. Gray. She's been busy since coming on. Standing in the tackle. Hodgson on to Bush. Little shift out this left-hand side. Young, impressive as always. Just running a great line and straightening. And then earns a penalty. They had a little second crack there in the tackle. Trying to slow down the play the ball. Sam had the try assist for that earlier try. Gets the late offload. Might have another one right here, but they're denied just shy. Bush brought to ground. Hodgson from dummy half. Back-to-back tries. She has a double. She caught them napping on their own goal line. She needed no invitation. Helps herself to a second try. The Willagee Bears product. It's her second try of the day. This time does it all on her own. Just saw the markers, caught unaware, and slams the ball down for another. So with Thompson getting a rest, Traherne has the kicking duties. It was a low conversion attempt. It barely left the tarmac, but did just enough to scrape over the crossbar and add the extra 2 points. 10 try performance from those out west so far. Plenty of cloud cover, a bit of rain this morning here at Seabrook Reserve, but the sun is out and shining. Young gets them up to halfway. Plenty of points still on offer for Western Australia, you have to think. Claire, she goes out through the other side, looks for options, but she'll go on to the far side, and going across is Price. More points, more joy. She'll have to be careful. Coming across, and it's a try-saving effort. Price had clocked off. She thought she'd all but secured the 4 points. She was unaware of the danger lurking behind. A moment she'd like to have again as the ball's spilt and it's scooped up and it'll be called a knock on. Well, rare blunder from the Western Australian outfit, Brittany Price. She just had to put the ball down. She was trying to improve the position. That effort just sums up South Australia. It really does. They might not have the strike power that these other states do. The scoreboard might not reflect ever so kindly, but plays like that, down by 50 points, and they come up with a try-saving effort on all effort as Western Australia will be trying to reach out. She'll have to be careful not to be pinged for a double movement. Now from dummy half, and they just go over. Some more points for Western Australia. Piling on the pain. This time it was Tarima. 2 tries against NT, 1 try today. That 4 point doesn't take away from the performance of South Australia. Got to hold their heads high with the effort that they've put in. It's not an easy task travelling away. A lot of these girls coming together for the first time. After a relatively straightforward attempt of her previous conversion, this one a little bit more tricky for Traherne on the far sideline. And it won't have the legs. 54 points to nil, score remains. Sam runs over the top there of Lucas. Second effort. Ping for the penalty. So South Australia, they'll take on Northern Territory tomorrow, 11:30. Same place here at Seabrook Reserve. It's really become the home of rugby league here in Victoria. The facility hosting the tournament once more. Well, for Western Australia, they'll have a showdown with Victoria. The game which will, you have to think, decide who takes out the CAS champs for 2025. That will take place at 12:40. Some exciting rugby league ahead of us. Nice offload. Good tackle there around the legs from Harmon had to be made. Sam goes straight through the middle. She's laid on a try assist for one earlier, and this time she's rewarded with a try of her own. Frida Sam straight through the front door with 2 minutes remaining. Western Australia on the verge of 60 points put on the South Australian outfit here today. Don't forget, after the conclusion of this match, Victoria, they'll take on Northern Territory in the women's division. NT looking to bounce back after that loss to WA, while Victoria, they had a nice opening hit out against South Australia in their opening game, which kicked off the tournament. Traherne gets her second conversion of the day. Inside the final minute, 12 tries, 60 points. WA with a point to prove, and they have sent a message to the rest of the competition. Whatever you can do, Victoria, we can do better. 20 seconds remain. Is there a chance for one late try to really rub salt into the wound? No chance their hand, no doubt. Collected around the bootlaces there by Claire. They'll have to go 60 metres. They want to get their 13th try. Sam has been strong off the bench. Proving a handful. And this will be last play. They'll try something special. They'll put a little shift out to this right-hand side, perhaps. They got numbers if they can use them. They throw the dummy. Wrapping around, and it's left behind them. And a knock-on will see out this match. Western Australia, 60 points to 0 winners over South Australia here at Seabrook Reserve. All part of the combined affiliated states champs. We'll take a short break. We've got the Victorian women taking on Northern Territory in a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. Still plenty of rugby league action to take place.